Hey everyone, welcome back to Mastering Metaphor, Speak with Color and Clarity. I'm Zach, and I'm genuinely glad you're here. If this is your first time, tap follow or subscribe so new episodes land right in your feed.
And I'm Emily. Today we're digging into why metaphors shape clear thinking. A metaphor is when we describe one thing as another to highlight a point. It's like choosing a camera filter for your idea. Roadmap versus puzzle gives a different mood, a different plan, a different pace.
Real story. In a Monday meeting, our manager said, "Let's not boil the ocean." I froze. Did he mean we're lazy? Are we giving up? Later, I realized it means don't try to do everything at once. The second we named it, the room relaxed, and we focused on two concrete steps.
I had the opposite. An intern wrote, "Let's eat the low-hanging fruit quickly." The client looked alarmed, like we were starting a fruit salad. Low-hanging fruit just means easy tasks. It's figurative, not literal. Once we explained it, everyone laughed, and the task list finally made sense.
That word figurative matters. Literal is the exact meaning. Figurative compares for effect. A strong metaphor becomes a frame, a lens that tells people what to notice first and what to ignore. If your frame says race, people speed up. If it says garden, they think seasons, patience, and steady growth.
Quick listening tip. When you hear a metaphor, pause for a beat. Ask, what two things are being compared, and which qualities are moving across? Time is money moves ideas like limited, valuable, spend, invest, waste. That little mapping step helps you decode meaning without stopping the whole conversation.
Metaphors also travel differently across cultures. My British teammate said, "That'll throw a spanner in the works." My US team says monkey wrench. Same idea, a sudden problem that stops progress. When we noticed the match, our international call got smoother, fast.
If your team is mixed, pick clear, shared phrases. I like, let's choose one small win. A small win means an easy, visible success that builds momentum. It's simple, visual, and safe. No local slang, so everyone can act without second-guessing the meaning.
By the way, if you enjoy practical stories like these, hit follow or subscribe now. It helps more listeners find us, and it keeps fresh episodes on your home screen, so you can listen while commuting, cooking, or walking the dog.
Quick recap. Metaphors guide attention. They're figurative, and a calm question, "What do you mean by that?" can save time and trust. We also touched on culture. Different phrases can point to the same idea, so clarity beats cleverness in global teams.
One more tool, paraphrase once. When I heard boil the ocean, I replied, "So, focus on two features for this release, right?" That small paraphrase turned confusion into a plan. People felt heard, and we moved forward together.
Coming up next, we're heading into the meeting room. Emails, feedback, and those phrases that either inspire action or freeze a team. Grab your coffee. We'll keep it real, short, and useful.
Stay with us. We're just getting warmed up. All right, let's get practical. In real offices, metaphors sneak into meetings, emails, and feedback, and they can quietly change what people do next. If the phrase paints speed, everyone rushes. If it paints caution, people slow down, even when nobody said those words directly.
Yesterday, I got an email that said, "Will this campaign move the needle?" Our teammate in Warsaw replied, "Which needle? Where is the device?" Totally fair question. The metaphor means, will this action create a noticeable result? I wrote back, "We expect a 5% lift in signups this week." And the confusion disappeared.
How did they react after you gave the number? Did the tone and the thread change?
Completely. The conversation shifted from guessing to planning. By the way, The word metric just means a measure, like a number you track. Once I attached a metric to the metaphor, the team stopped debating feelings and started assigning tasks and timelines.
Speaking of meetings, I once heard, "Let's put that in the parking lot." A new hire glanced at the window like we actually had a parking space for ideas. That phrase simply means postpone a topic and return later. Now I translate on the spot. Parking lot, so we'll revisit after item 3.
My workshop had a storm of metaphors. We're putting out fires. It's a fire drill. Everything is on fire. People got tense just hearing it. I switched to, let's stabilize the system. First, restore logins, then notifications. The tone softened, and people focused on steps instead of panic.
Design feedback brings its own poetry. I told a designer, "Let's align on the North Star." He nodded, but later admitted, "I don't know what star you mean." I rephrased, "Our core goal is faster checkout. Every screen should reduce clicks. Clear, shared target, no astronomy required."
Do you also avoid bandwidth? I've seen that land badly.
I do. "I don't have bandwidth" can feel like a hard no. Instead, I say, "I have capacity for 2 small tasks today. I can start the report tomorrow by noon." Capacity means available time and energy. It respects priorities without sounding like a closed door.
Feedback one-on-one can be tricky too. A manager told me, "You're in the weeds." For a minute, I felt small. Later, she explained she wanted a bird's eye view, a high, simple summary. That image helped me adjust. First, one clear headline, then details on demand.
Quick playbook. Spot the metaphor, map it, and check. I'll say, "So when you say move the needle, you're asking for a visible change this week, like 5%, right?" That one paraphrase turns fuzzy language into a concrete plan and keeps trust intact.
Emails love dramatic phrasing too. I once drafted a subject line, "Greenlight the pilot?" A teammate asked if we were buying lights. Now I use, "Approval needed, 2-week test starting Monday." The message still moves fast, but nobody has to decode color or cinema.
Quick recap. At work, metaphors act like lenses. Parking lot means postpone. Move the needle means produce a visible change. North Star signals a guiding goal. In the weeds means too much detail. Translate once, tie it to a metric, and teams align faster.
One more tip for global teams. Keep a tiny shared glossary in your doc. Glossary just means a short list of terms and meanings. When new phrases appear, like bandwidth, escalate, or touch base, drop a line there. It keeps projects clear and everyone included.
Let's step into the newsroom for a minute. Headlines love big images, and those images quietly push us toward a feeling before we see any data. The picture often arrives first, and our opinion tries to catch up.
I felt that yesterday. A headline said, "Tsunami of layoffs hits tech." Tsunami makes me imagine disaster and chaos. Then I opened the article. It was a 2% restructuring. Same facts, very different mood because of that single word.
I notice it with the economy. One outlet said, "A battle against inflation," and I pictured enemies and winners. Another said, "Policy toolkit to ease prices," which felt calm and practical. That's framing, the way language sets the stage and guides attention. Connotation is the emotional flavor a word carries.
A morning show called the market a roller coaster. My stomach dropped even before the graph appeared. Later, I checked the monthly trend line. More like gentle hills than drops. The metaphor had already primed my body to feel fear.
Here's my quick test. I swap the picture. If a report says crime wave, I rewrite it in my head as rise in reported incidents. If the feeling changes a lot, the metaphor is doing heavy lifting. By the way, a hedge like reportedly or alleged signals uncertainty.
That reminds me of a city council story. One radio host said, "A flood of complaints." Another said, "A pattern of calls over 2 months." Flood suggests something unstoppable. Pattern sounds measurable. Nuance, the fine shades of meaning, totally shaped how I judged the issue.
To be fair, some metaphors help. A piece about rent relief called vouchers a lifeline for renters. It nudged me to notice human impact, not just numbers. The image focused attention on why the policy matters, not only how much it costs.
Quick listening checklist. Spot the image words first. Ask what outcome they point toward. Then, separate description from evaluation. When I hear economic headwinds, I translate it to factors slowing growth, and I go look for which factors: rates, prices, or something else.
I also changed how I read. I mute notifications, then read past the headline and compare two outlets on the same story. One might say surge, another says increase. Surge suggests a sudden jump. Increase could be steady. The difference matters for decisions.
Verbs carry weight too. Cracks in the system sounds like collapse, while signals for reform invites solutions. Spin is when language tilts the angle to favor a side. If I sense spin, I slow down and hunt for the base numbers or a direct quote.
I tried this with my family group chat. Instead of forwarding a dramatic post, I wrote a neutral summary. 3 sources report a 1.2% rise this quarter. Experts expect a slower pace next quarter. No fireworks, but we had a calmer, smarter conversation.
So, quick recap. Framing steers attention. Connotation colors emotion. And small word choices like surge, wave, or lifeline can nudge judgment. Swap the picture, check the data, and note any hedges that show uncertainty.
Coming up, we'll dig into decoding in real time, how to pause, paraphrase once, and keep conversations moving even when the metaphor is loud. Tiny moves, big clarity. Let's get into decoding metaphors in real time. In fast meetings, you don't need perfect vocabulary. You need small repair moves. I lean on 3 beats. Pause for a breath, paraphrase what I heard, and check I caught the meaning before we decide anything.
Yesterday on a vendor call, the project lead said, "We'll run this up the flagpole." I had visions of a literal flag. Instead of guessing, I named the image and asked, "Quick check, by flagpole, do you mean get leadership reaction today or formal approval next week?" He smiled and said, "Just a gut check today." I then proposed a concrete step. "Great, 2 slides, 5 bullets, send by 3 p.m.?" That little move kept momentum and nobody felt awkward. By the way, gut check means a quick, informal reaction, not a final decision.
I use a simple formula. Name, map, ask. Name the picture word. Map which qualities it brings. Speed, risk, size. Ask a focused question with a time or number. Paraphrase, meaning restate in your own words, closes the loop. So you want an informal reaction today, full sign-off next week, correct?
Speaking of that, I've started offering 2 clear options when I sense ambiguity. When you say peel the onion, are we digging into root causes now or listing open questions for later? Giving options reduces assumptions. Assumption just means something you treat as true without proof. And it helps the other person answer fast.
Email can be trickier. A PM wrote, Let's ship the bleeding edge build. If it backfires, we'll roll it back. I replied, to confirm, this is the experimental version. If results are bad, we return to the previous release tonight? Bleeding edge means very new and risky. Roll back means restore the earlier version. We avoided a tense debate because the plan was now explicit.
Small habits help under pressure. I take a 2-second pause, jot one word, flagpole, onion, fire, then say, give me a second to map that image. The phrase buys time and sounds respectful. If a metaphor feels dramatic, I swap in a neutral line. We're in the home stretch becomes, we're on the final 10%.
Quick recap. Pause, paraphrase, and check with a number or time. Offer 2 options to speed clarity. Define one tricky term when needed, then move to action. Next, we'll build our own clean, high-impact metaphors that guide teams without confusion. Let's build metaphors that actually help people act. When I'm shaping one for work, I start with the goal. What do I want the team to notice and do? Then I pick a simple image most people share, nothing niche, and I tie it to one concrete step and a timeline. If the picture doesn't lead to action, it's just decoration.
I learned that the hard way in a product retro. Someone said, "We need a war room." The room got tense immediately. I paused and offered, "Let's set up a studio." A studio suggests craft, iteration, and healthy critique. Same plan, daily check-ins, shared board, quick demos, but the mood shifted from attack to build. Quick note, register is the level of formality or tone a word carries, and switching the image changed the register of the whole meeting.
A launch story from me. Our onboarding was messy, and leaders kept calling it a funnel. The team moved like we were forcing people through a tube, speed over care. I tried, think of onboarding as a tour with a friendly guide. A tour primes you to point out highlights and skip clutter. We wrote, "Guide, don't shove" on the whiteboard, trimmed 2 steps, and added a welcome tip. Activation rose 3 points in a week. The image nudged behavior, not just feelings.
Here's how I draft one quickly. I grab a sticky and write 4 lines. Goal, image, because, action. Then I speak it out loud to myself. For a support project, I wrote, goal, fewer tickets. Image, a water filter, because it catches noise before it reaches the team. Action, add 1 auto reply that routes common questions. Measure ticket drops for 2 weeks. Notice I didn't chase poetry. I chased clarity plus movement.
A few tests keep metaphors clean. 1. The swap test. Replace the image with plain words. If meaning collapses, the picture was carrying too much mystery. 2. The extension test. Can the image stretch 1 step without breaking? If a bridge helps, it should also support crossing safely, not suddenly turn into a rocket. 3. The culture test. Would a global team know it? Sports or war images fail a lot. Salient means the most noticeable feature. Make sure your image highlights the right feature, not drama.
Speaking of drama, cliches creep in. A cliché is a phrase used so often it loses power. I caught myself writing, "win hearts and minds." I swapped it for a calmer picture. Open the door for hesitant users. Then I anchored it. 2 testimonials on the pricing page by Friday. Anchoring turns a soft image into a real plan. And extendable is a nice word here. If the image works, you can extend it 1 more sentence without sounding silly.
Global tip from a messy moment of mine. I once told a mixed team, "We're in overtime. We need a Hail Mary." Half the room blinked. I reframed. "We're on a two-lane road. Let's take the steady lane and deliver the core feature Thursday." Everyday images, roads, tools, weather, journeys, travel better than niche sports metaphors. And when I add a number or a day, the picture stops being fuzzy art and becomes direction.
Quick recap before we move on. Start with the goal, pick a shared image, add a short because, and end with a specific action plus metric or time. Run the swap, extension, and culture tests. Avoid violent or insider metaphors. Keep the register supportive. If your picture gently changes behavior, you've nailed it. Next up, we'll land the episode with a simple practice plan and closing thoughts.
Let's land the plane with one simple picture. Quick wrap-up. Metaphors guide attention. Repair moves, pause, paraphrase, check, protect clarity. And the best images end in action with a number or time. Keep those tests handy. Swap, extension, culture. If the picture gently changes behavior and everyone understands it, you're doing it right.
Here's a tiny 7-day practice you can fit into life. Pick one meeting, one article, one message per day. Keep a note on your phone. The aim isn't poetry. It's clarity you can act on. Keep it human. Choose images most people share. Roads, tools, weather, journeys, cooking. Day 1. Spot a metaphor, rewrite it plainly. Day 2. Paraphrase with a number or time. Day 3. Translate a headline and check data. Day 4. Build goal image because action. Day 5. Run swap and culture tests. Day 6. Add one term to a shared glossary. Day 7. Record a 60-second reflection.
I tried this last week with an intern. A teammate wrote, "We're in the home stretch." He felt lost. I anchored it. Final 10%, 2 tickets left, Tuesday noon. Anchor simply means fix your idea to a number or deadline. His relief was instant, and he took the login bug while I handled the report.
2 tools for your team. First, a tiny glossary, just a short list of terms and meanings at the top of your doc. Second, a metaphor parking space. When a dramatic phrase appears, drop a neutral version beside it. During your retro, short review after delivery, keep the versions that proved clear, retire the rest.
Before we close, pick one message today and try goal image because action. Then add a metric. If it helps, share your clean metaphor in the comments. Follow or subscribe so the next episode lands right in your feed. Thanks for spending time with us. Take care and keep your language kind and sharp.